as Makeswift is the new page builder on the block, I thought it was well overdue time that I take a look at what does it take to build a page in Makeswift, really to familiarize myself so I understand what's possible, what's not possible. So for this kind of demo, as it were, I'm just going to experiment with building and replicating a page. I'm mainly worried about kind of how does the sort of the box model layouts work, what can I do? So yeah, follow along with me. We'll see how we get on. I'm gonna take one of our customers, Sarah Raven, homepage, very, very typical, different types of grid layouts, promoted products, etc., USPs. So I thought, okay, that seems like a pretty good example to see if we can replicate it and what challenges do we run into. So first, let's take the USP banner bar. Okay, so we've clearly got a block in the middle. What can we do? We've got boxes, so pages made up of boxes, text, images, buttons, and then we have a set of other components here. Video, form, okay, carousel, and then a few catalyst-specific components as well. And then seems like there's a few templates we can kind of start off with, which is quite helpful. So some sort of header, hero, alternating blocks. So that could come in helpful when building up our page. So the first thing is I need 3 blocks. Let's start to see if there's anything relevant here. Okay, so this one is 3 blocks, albeit vertical rather than horizontal. So let's see how I get on changing this. So this is one of our USPs. This is another one. And finally, stars. Okay, cool. So what are my USPs? Lifetime guarantee. And we don't need any text. So how do I get rid of this? Oh, no, didn't want to do that. Let's get rid of that block. Okay. Then our next USP is free delivery over £80. Great. And let's do the same there. Ooh. Okay. And then the last one is rated great on Trustpilot. Perfect. Got free partner marketing as well. Okay. So clearly these are much too big. So we've got green and pink arrows. Okay, so green arrow, if you drag at that is essentially margin or padding. Great, so we're looking for pink when we want to resize. Okay, that looks a bit better. How small do we want to go? Maybe 45 for each. So I can also do the same without drag and dropping and just typing in the number over here. Width 45, %. I want pixels, great. Let's do the same here, 45 each time, great. And then this text is far too big as well. Let's just pick another number that might be close. Yeah, close enough. Not going to match all the fonts and the like here. I'm not worried about the kind of brand settings as much, just kind of really looking for layout. Okay, this has got some margin on it, so we don't want that. Let's see if I can reset that. Let's go naught. So you can drag as well. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now we have our 3 blocks. Now I need to figure out how to make them into vertical. Trying to figure out the box model as well. So if you hover over a box, you get breadcrumbs. So you can kind of see the other containers that a component is in, rather than just sort of trying to hover over the page and figuring it all out. So there's our, how do I get it back? There we go. So we've got 1, then that's my next box, and that's the whole box. But it doesn't look like there's a way of kind of reconfiguring it from a grid point of view to kind of be row rather than column. So let's instead drag it next to it. So you can drag and drop, unlike kind of BigCommerce page builder, you can drag and drop to move a component. So we move it to the left-hand side. Let's stay within that box, I think. Yeah. And then let's do the same with this one. Okay, this is where it gets like a little bit confusing about which box should I be in. So maybe if I drag that bit to there. Okay, Cool, that's looking pretty good. Maybe, okay, so now I get like a resize. I almost do get the grid sort of component there. That's centralized. That's left aligned. Oops. Was it? Did I have it as 2? I had it as 3. Okay. And then clearly there's much too much margin on that one. Let's make this a bit smaller. Oops. Gotta notice those green and pink arrows. Where's my green one? Oh, it's down here. Okay. So 50 and 50. Okay, there's my, obviously theirs is a lot narrower. I could choose to do that presumably by changing this bit if I wanted to. Okay, so perhaps not dev ready, but you know, good enough. We've got an idea of how that works. Next bit is our hero banner. So I'm going to want an image here. So let's drag an image in here. Pick my picture of Sarah. Okay, that's easy. Then this could be a bit tricky. There's clearly like some position absolute box over the top here. So I could add a box below for now, get my text in. My text is going to be the heading of 30% off tulips. And that's, did something then. Let's make that a little bit larger. And then we've got some text beneath that. So presumably I drag and drop again below that. And let's get some text in there. So your dream spring garden. Wouldn't be complete without tulips, that's for sure. Enjoy 30% off all tulips. Okay, so that's just there, and then there's a button beneath it. And we want to edit that. We can't edit the text by double click on that one. We have to click shop now here, and we can uppercase it. Okay, so then we've got that. It's a much narrower box in reality. Oops. So let's do something like that. Okay. But I don't see anything in terms of positioning absolutely. That's, you know, probably no surprise in a page builder. What can we do instead for now? Let's drag that to the side. Okay, a bit small. Now I should have box models. Seems like they're kind of next to each other right now, not actually. How do I get my... So it doesn't look like I have a way of, unless I'm doing something silly. Oopsie. Resizing it. Maybe I need another box. If in doubt, use more boxes and put that into that box. And then I get my, oh no, hold your horses, Tom. Clearly got a bit more going on now, but this is still a box that is half the width of the screen. And I'm having trouble triggering the breadcrumbs. Okay, so I'm still not actually, I don't have the container box that I thought I had there. So maybe I did that wrong. Put that in the box. Put that in the box. There you go. So yeah, they're a bit finicky, but at least now I've got a side-by-side. Presumably if I take one of these boxes, I can, okay, not that one. Let's get my breadcrumbs back. Maybe this box. Center it as well. Okay. Okay then, I'm happy enough with that for now. There's my next hero. Then we've got a carousel. I did spot a carousel component over here somewhere. A couple of different carousels. Let's take the Catalyst one and drop that in here. Okay, so it's pulling products from my store. So yeah, we won't get the flowers, but that's good enough. I kind of get the gist there. And let's copy the text at the least. And then text in here. And then this component has been built to have two different ways of featuring products. So whether they're newest or featured. Okay, let's choose featured. Okay, so page is building up. Then next we've got a 3-column grid. We used one of those earlier, didn't we? So it was vertical. Oh, there's one here. There we go. Great. So next up we have some alliums. Let's update the text there. Do we have any text beneath? Just shop now, kind of like a button, but for now we'll just put shop now. Could do with it being a bit smaller. Oh, not quite that small. Okay. Clearly the image is going to be need to be a bit bigger too, but let's get them in first. Some Narcissi. And then the last one was all spring flowering bulbs. Okay. Let's choose an image. I think it was this one. Okay, that image is different dimension, different aspect ratio. This is something else that I've kind of struggled with so far is I haven't been able to sort of fix incorrect aspect ratios. Perhaps you could put it inside another box and fix that box, but this doesn't allow me to make it smaller than it actually is. I can certainly make these bigger. So at the very least, let's make it as wide as these images, as wide as the box. Ooh. Pink, we want pink. So that's 100%. Let's make that 100%. Okay, the box is a bit narrower than the page by default, so let's make that wider. Okay, that's a bit better, but yeah, clearly a bit off here. So I need to figure out how to do that. Probably a bit more margin than we need here as well. Okay. Oh, still got margin padding, sorry. Padding there, we'll get there. Okay. This one needs a bit more margin. Do I get a green? Green on one of these that I can increase? Get the right arrows. Okay, that'll do. Okay, so I have that. One thing to notice also that is different is if you have another person making changes at the same time, Makeswift advertises a multiplayer mode. So let's see what happens when I open this as a new tab. Okay, so yeah, I've clearly got an indicator. If I go in here, lifetime guarantee, if I swap back to the other tab, you can see I'm in that box. Okay, you see the changes made. I can, both people can make changes to the same box, but it's not locked or anything, but at least you can see what's going on. So that helps. Okay, cool. That kind of makes sense. Box model, and it can be a bit tricky. If you had more components, that's what I spotted. You could have the concept of a global component. So perhaps like maybe this block, for some reason I'd want to reuse it. I found this button over here, so create global component. Maybe we'll call these promoted categories. Yes, continue. Okay, so now that's a global component. I can reuse it in other places. So if I go to contact us, and then I think it ends up in here. Yeah, ooh, there we go. So I can drag that into the page. And now I've got my reusable component. I assume that then if I change the text, edit component, I can then finish this off as shop now as well. Too lazy to use the capitalize button. There we go. And save that. Okay, so if I go back to About Us, presumably that's updated there as well. Yeah, cool. So global component, reuse that. That makes sense. What else do we have? I've noticed one of the interesting things, we go to Contact Us page. The other thing I kind of wanted to show and kind of figure out, okay, this is there. Let's add a form. above it and use that as just like a promoted blocks. So you have connected table, a bunch of styling options, but okay, so tables are in data. We don't have any right now. Let's create a table and let's do this contact form submissions. Okay, and then how do I add? Oh yeah, just a bit slow. Okay, what do we need? Name. Then email. Oh, type email, great. And then message. Long text. Okay, notifications. Okay, so I can get an email notification if I want to. That's helpful. Export, naming, integrate. Okay, so I can connect this up to, it's got like Makeswift, it has integration into Zapier. So if I've got a Zapier account, got some flows here that would make it easier to send these contact form submissions off to somewhere else, like a Google Sheet, etc. But for now, okay, I've got my, I ended up with 2 tables. How did I do that? Maybe it was when I made data. Cool. Let's make sure I've got one. Then, okay, so I have my form. Now I can connect a table. Doesn't seem to auto-populate. There we go. Contact form submissions. So that builds out then the form for me, which is kind of cool. Redirect. Okay, so I can redirect to a new page on submissions. So I can do like a success page. Lots of options for buttons. But I think that's good enough now. At the very least, I should probably have a nice title here. Gonna need something a bit bigger than that. Okay, well, nothing super fancy, but get the gist there. And then we have preview functionality as well. So preview that. Cool, interesting. The form doesn't show yet. Maybe I need to publish that before it will show the form. Not sure. Clearly need some more padding on the page as well. What does the other page look like if we preview that? Cool. Kind of as I expect. Yeah, I think at another point I could probably look into how to do like responsive overrides. So you're going to need some work here to add some overrides. I'll be honest, I don't know how to do that yet, but we will get there. So let's go back to desktop. I did notice the load animate in. You've got to try the animate in. So let's not go over the top. Let's just fade up on each one of these. There we go, fade up. Okay, so that's a different kind of component. So I can't add, because that's like a component in Catalyst. I can't add stuff to that, but maybe if I'd put that in a box here and move my carousel inside the box, remove the padding on it, I can then animate the outside box. Okay, cool. So there's that. Then same on the last one, just because I need to animate everything, because that's just who I am. And then preview that, and then we should have a bit more of an animation on load. There you go. Cool. So I think as you know, first page built, pretty happy with that. Starting to kind of get to grips with how to build out a page, what options I have. Kind of neat having all of the being able to almost build your own tables. You know, having site data here and presumably submitting all those contact form submissions and integrating that into another system like Google Sheets without needing someone else or a separate form builder is kind of nice. Yeah, first page built. There's your first page in Makeswift. Cheers.